The next morning brought two surprises that left Karen speechless for the first time in years. First, a police officer was parked in front of Tom's house, chatting amicably with him and actually taking photos of the display. But not for a violation report. Officer Martinez was asking for tips on where to buy similar decorations for his own home. Second, and far more infuriating, was the sight greeting Karen from her bedroom window. Every single house on Maple Street, except hers, was now decorated for Christmas. Not just decorated, illuminated. The Johnsons had strung lights along their entire roofline. The Patels had erected a massive inflatable Santa and sleigh. Even elderly Mr. Rodriguez, who usually kept to himself, had wrapped his oak tree in twinkling white lights. "This is coordinated rebellion," Karen muttered, reaching for her phone to call the HOA president directly. "Karen, I've got 12 complaints about your complaints," President Bob Sullivan said before she could even speak. "Apparently, you've been harassing neighbors and calling the police over decorations that are well within community guidelines." Well within guidelines? Have you seen that monstrosity across from me? I drove by yesterday. It's festive, Karen. It's Christmas. And according to Tom's security footage, you spent an hour measuring his display and taking photos from his property line. That's harassment. Karen's blood ran cold. Security footage. I was simply documenting violations for the community's benefit. The community seems pretty happy with the decorations. In fact, we've had several families call to thank Tom for brightening up the neighborhood. Apparently, his display has become quite the attraction. As if summoned by their conversation, a slow parade of cars began creeping down Maple Street, windows down, children pointing excitedly at the houses. Karen watched in horror as a news van pulled up and a reporter began interviewing Tom about his community Christmas spirit. That evening, Karen made her most catastrophic decision yet. If the HOA wouldn't enforce the rules, she'd take matters into her own hands. Waiting until well past midnight, she crept across the street with a pair of wire cutters, determined to end this nightmare once and for all. But Tom's security system was more sophisticated than she'd realized. Motion sensors triggered floodlights that bathed her in blazing white light, while an automated voice announced, "Unauthorized activity detected. Police have been notified." Karen dropped the wire cutters and ran, but not before the cameras captured her face in perfect detail. The next morning, the footage was everywhere. Local news, social media, neighborhood chat groups. HOA Karen caught red-handed trying to sabotage Christmas display, read the headline on the community Facebook page. But as Karen sat in her dark, undecorated house, watching the growing crowd of supporters gathering in Tom's yard, she realized something that chilled her more than the December air. The entire neighborhood was planning something big, and she was about to discover just how far they'd go to protect their newfound Christmas spirit. Her phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "The real show starts tomorrow night. You might want to invest in blackout curtains." Karen Whitmore dropped her morning coffee all over her pristine white kitchen counter when she saw it. Her neighbor's house, the one directly across from her perfectly manicured lawn, was blazing with enough Christmas lights to guide Santa's sleigh through a blizzard. Red, green, blue, and gold bulbs cascaded down every surface like a neon waterfall, while an inflatable snowman the size of a small car bobbed cheerfully in the front yard. "This is a violation," she whispered, her voice trembling with righteous indignation. Without bothering to clean up the coffee, she marched to her home office and began typing furiously. "Dear Homeowners Association Board, I am writing to report a severe violation of our community's holiday decoration guidelines." 20 minutes later, she was standing on her front porch in her bathrobe, hands on her hips, glaring at the offensive display when her neighbor Tom emerged from his garage. "Morning, Karen. Beautiful day, isn't it?" Tom called out, gesturing toward his twinkling wonderland with obvious pride. "That display is completely inappropriate for our neighborhood," Karen shot back, her voice carrying across the quiet street. "The HOA guidelines clearly state that holiday decorations should be tasteful and subdued." Tom's friendly smile faltered. "Come on, Karen. It's Christmas. The kids love it. The property values don't love it," she snapped. Neither do the rest of us who actually care about maintaining standards in this community. As she turned to storm back inside, she caught a glimpse of Mrs. Chen from next door peeking through her curtains, quickly ducking away when their eyes met. Good. Let the whole neighborhood know she wasn't going to tolerate this chaos. By noon, Karen had sent 3 follow-up emails to the HOA board, each more detailed than the last. She'd photographed the display from every angle, researched local noise ordinances, those singing reindeer had to be violating something, and even pulled up the original community charter from 1987. Her phone buzzed. A text from the HOA president. Received your complaint. Will investigate within 48 hours as per policy. 48 hours. Karen stared at the message in disbelief. Every minute that garish display remained was another minute her property values plummeted. She needed faster action. That evening, as Tom's light show automatically kicked into its hourly musical routine, complete with synchronized flashing and jingle bell rock, Karen made a decision that would change everything. She pulled up the city's non-emergency line and dialed. Yes, I'd like to report a public nuisance, she said, watching the lights dance mockingly across her living room walls. Excessive noise and lighting that's disturbing the peace. What Karen didn't know was that Tom had installed a security camera just last month, and it had captured every second of her reconnaissance mission around his property that afternoon.